everyone.
Hi.
Hi. Excellent. Ooh, lots of people here today. Great. Not so big though. Okay, welcome everyone. Today we're going to be having a look at the article that we read on Monday, which was talking about animals going extinct and why they go extinct, and actually what Google tells us about animals going extinct. So to start off, for the few people who weren't here on Monday when we read the article, who'd like to give a little bit of a summary about what the article was talking about? Artem?
Yeah. On the day before yesterday, we read a very fascinating article. Why I think it was a fascinating one, and because the editor created that article in a very interesting way. He described how he just take out his mobile phone out of his pocket and typed his question, just one single question: why is the animals going extinct? And the response also was very interesting. Uh, I mean, not just answer on the way how we have answered. It's worth to read if someone of you hadn't attended the session. So, and the editor just enumerated the why the animals go extinct, the reason that they just was smashed out by the newcomers, for example, by food, just uh, by competition between other species on the earth. Uh,
Yes,
was
other species.
other species. Yeah, yes, exactly. And so on, like desertification and so on, by coaching, what I can remember. Just why they go in street. And I, for myself, I I think the main problem just is how to say, I forgot his name. Uh, by selection, the national selection. Who is stronger, that one is going to survive. Who is weaker, yeah, that one is doomed to die. Sooner or later, that kind of person which is weak is going to die out, unfortunately. And the editor have mentioned a lot of species who have died out during the time of his grandparents on just the closest ancestors, which we can see on a photo. And he also mentioned that a lot of species is going to die out soon. And he at the end of this article mentioned, do we matter about that or not? Do we care about this, that animals go extinct? And Google have given him answer, but unfortunately, we haven't received it answer. He haven't published its answer. But I think everyone got the meaning that we need to just to be, to let them live next to us. Don't invade their wilderness and leave them a little bit alone, because sooner or later we are going to be just a single species on the earth, like human being and nothing at all. No fish, no birds, no No animals. No other animals at all. Only human being. Something like that. I was reading about
I'm not
animals
sure
in
if it.
extinction.
Yeah,
What?
I'm not sure if it would just be humans that are left, but maybe it'll be something else. Like the insects, I think, are pretty good at living. I think they're even better than the humans. And I think we might have new animals as well that we can't even imagine at the moment. But yeah, a lot of the animals that are alive right now, they did say that they're probably going to go extinct. That everything's really going into extinction. Great. Okay. Can anyone else remember any other important points or interesting points from the article? Martin, Luca, I know that you guys have both read it. I'm not sure about everybody else. Martin.
I remember they mentioned that 50% of mammals are endangered by extinction, and for me it is a high number, because it is half of all mammals are endangered.
Yes, it's a very large number. Luca?
Yes, thanks. I just want to add one thing about the significance of the article for me. When they spoke about the grip of extinction, they basically they basically are referring to the how can I say the main significance of this article is that all species will extinct, also the human. I think this is the principal sense of the article. So not just the animal, but also the man. I remember this.
Yes, and I think that's a very big point
Yeah,
from
it's
this
difficult.
article.
It's difficult to explain, but the way is okay. We can give our I don't know if it's right, contribute our to make animal gonna to be extincted, but also man will go to extinct.
Yes, exactly. It's not just, we have to remember that humans are animals as well. So when we're talking about all animals going extinct eventually, we're talking about humans as well, that eventually humans will go extinct as well. Okay, did anyone want to add anything else that they remember? Were there any other important points? Okay, so my first question then for everyone today is, why do you think that animals are going extinct? I mean, they talked about two things in the article. The fact that everything is going extinct just because of natural selection and some of the other things that Adam mentioned, but also that maybe humans are affecting this as well. But what do you think? Why do you think animals are going extinct? Or why do you think they have gone extinct in the past? Artem?
I think every species just at some point get tired of it and just, what's the point? They just came with the idea, what's the point to live here? Let's go extinct. Let's go extinct. I think some kind of, some type of species have been have chose this to go instinct on their own.
Okay, you think they got bored of living, or?
Yeah, it's boring. What's the point?
Okay, I'm not too sure about that, but okay. Luca?
Yes, I think that they were extincted because just they were not adapted to the environment, to the earth, basically, to the condition, to the life condition of that the period of our earth. So, but I think this is a concept that is still alive. All that exists in this world is, I think, a depression for the how can I say, is a depression against the nature. So everything is going to extinct. The animal in the past, from T-Rex to the tigers now, for the white tigers, for example, because our climate is always more hot.
Okay, so you think that changes in the environment then, like the changes in the weather and changes in the environment surrounding us cause a lot of these extinctions then?
Yes, I think that is just a modify of the environment and of the condition of our planet.
Okay, well, what about everybody else? Why do you think that animals have gone extinct in the past, or why will they go extinct? Paula?
Yes, thank you, Natasha. Yes, I didn't read the article, but I think that there are many causes that lead to extinction of a species, and the main is that Luca said it's the weather changing, that change the condition where animals have to live, and they are not able to adapt themselves to the new condition. And the second one, I think it's the development of new species that compete for food or for environment, or that have some skills that allow them to be better in relation to the other species. Actually, I think that human beings have a role only in the last 2,000 or 3,000 years, not before of that.
Thank you. Wow, Paula, for someone who hasn't read the article, you just did a very good job of mentioning a lot of the arguments that they did, actually.
Thank you.
So, they mentioned a lot of those same things that you just mentioned now. The fact that animals have been going extinct for years before humans were actually around. So humans have had a bit of an effect on it, but not as much as we kind of think, maybe. Not such a big effect as maybe we imagine. Okay. What does everyone else think? Do you think that it is just about the environment and maybe species being replaced by the species? Or do you think that us humans are causing it in some way? Hernan?
Hi, Natasha. Hi, everyone. Yes, I believe that without a doubt, as humans, we are responsible for the extinction of so many species. I mean, I know that naturally it happened in the past, but it was never as fast as nowadays because human intervention. I mean, we are we are responsible of many of these events through, well, I'm sure that the article was mentioning most of it. So not, we're not talking only about natural causes. We're talking about humans' hands making this unfortunate event happening, from hunting, fishing, and the things that we are doing to their habitats. They cannot survive. So I think that of course we are responsible in so many ways, and I don't think that it's going to change either. I mean, there are so few that are interested in trying to save wild animals, but I think that is the battle of a few, because most people, I mean, we can feel empathy, of course, but it's just a temporary thing. We are not going to think about this tomorrow. I mean, literally tomorrow. We're going to forget about this and go on with our lives, because that is what we do. We don't care about our neighbors. And then we're talking about human beings. I mean, people who can say, "Oh, I hate hunting." I mean, how can they hunt poor, innocent wild animals? And they are saying that at the same time they are stepping on the heads of poor people that they are starving to death, maybe right by their sides, and they do nothing about it. So, if we don't care for our brothers and sisters, I don't think that we care about wild animals. So, I'm sorry to be this pessimistic, but that is how I feel.
Yes, well, it is a little bit pessimistic, but at the same time, it's very true in a lot of parts. Do people really actually care about these animals or care about them going extinct? And actually, that's my next question for everyone. Do you think people actually care? Do you think that people are worried about animals going extinct or trying to do things so that they don't go extinct? What do you think? April?
I think so, because we can't generalize people. Maybe not everybody in the world will do that, but they do that also. Also the same to each other. They kill each other in war and like that. So a lot of people, I think, enough people really care to help or to save the animals, but that is just because we are with so many in the world, and everything with what we do affect the nature and the climate and the food. Everything is affected by what we are doing every day. So it is just a process that we can't prevent, we can't avoid, and that is the nature of the nature, the rule of the nature. And then also, I can understand, for example, about fish, salmon, for example, that they are also once they said that it is also, or another fish, I don't know, that they are also extinct. But what about dinosaurs, for example? It has such a big animal. How can they? I don't think that people kill them, and that the people, that human, are the cause of the extinction of dinosaurs, for example. So how can they go extinct? That is, and when is that? I thought that you said, Natasha, animals go extinct before before human is around. So we came later than those how do you say it, old or dinosaurs and all the animals in the millions years ago. So how did they go extinct then? They kill each other, and if you ask me now, I don't want to kill animals, but I eat also animals. I eat sheep. I eat chicken. I eat chicken. I eat some pork also. So that is also a kind of killing them, but they can't go extinct. I think because people breed them, and there are enough. And one thing that that make me sad, that people said always that. We have to minimize the consumption of meat, but how many meat every day will be thrown away every day, and that make me sad actually. And we don't have any. Don't have enough. I can't say that we don't have any respect, but we don't have enough respect for the animals. That maybe I agree with that, but I hope so, and I'm sure that a lot of people do care about the animals. They just we just don't have enough way or material just to save them, because also the climate and everything in the nature that become worse by human. It's not a direct reason that they go extinct, but because of what we did, that make one of the reason that they are in trouble. But actually, Natasha, on Monday you said that what was it in Australia, that Tasmanian tiger? I didn't know that
Yes.
it coexist. It's no more anymore. Not on New Zealand. Okay, Hernan, thank you. Yeah, this. So I didn't know that. So I was. If you say to me go extinct, I always think about something that in the past, in the billion years maybe ago. But nowadays, yeah, maybe the next generation will say that that animals that is the generation of my great grandfather has made that they go extinct. Maybe the next generation. Okay, thank you. No, Tasmania. Okay, I'm
Yes.
Hernan.
Tasmanian tiger is from Australia, because Tasmania is actually a state in Australia. It's another. It's an island right down the bottom of Australia, so it's definitely from Australia, not from New Zealand. Artem.
Actually, I completely agree with the opinion of Hernan. That we actually don't care at all. And I think why is the reason why the few people started to talk about, they just that little group, I think, just scientists, and they just have figured out that at some point every species is going to smashed out of the earth sooner or later, because of the so quick climate change. It's changed so rapidly, and we have to come up with how to survive. If we actually, we don't have any care of animals, because for example, my aunt She's living not so far of my city, and she multiply animals, but she has cats and dogs also, but she names them, but she never name animals because you will start treat them as a pets, and as if you will give the name to the pets, you will never be able to kill them. So, and the human beings come up with that idea that why not just start to multiply animals to feed ourselves, so we will not starve to death, and that's it. I think we don't care at all. We just care about booty, some nice cat. Let me to touch a little bit. That's okay. At some point, we just can turn our head back to our plate, on which is placed a huge piece of meat, fried, very chalky, a little bit chalky, fried, too fat, and eat it and like it. No, I don't think we care. If we even multiply them, I don't think.
Okay, so we
Oh.
care about the cute fluffy ones, but not so much the
Yeah.
other ones. Okay, Luca?
Thanks. Yes, I think that nowadays people take care of animals more than a few years ago, more than, I don't know, 20, 30 years ago, because we have to think about statistics, about all studies, all research that are made about animals. I think that 50 years ago, this there wasn't. So basically, as also April said before, I think just we are more people. The human population is increasing year by year. So all that we do has an effect about nature and also respect to animals, to all species that are now alive on our planet. So I think that the main problem today is that people don't take care about themselves. Are not about animals. I think that we take care a lot of animals, and especially we take care about animals, and we are worried when an animal die. For example, when a dog die, or when you can hear from television that a person has killed a bear in a wood, but we don't care for the people that is now dying in Africa, for example. This is the real situation for me.
Okay, so you think that maybe we should be worried not just about looking after the animals or doing that, or maybe not just worrying about other animals becoming extinct, but our own species as well, and what's happening with our own species, and maybe about humans becoming extinct as well. Okay. Hernan?
Yes, I wanted to say something positive for a change in this topic. No, I stand by what I said before. I do believe that most people they just don't care, don't really care, and they're not going to take any a direct action towards this. I mean, we can feel empathy in theory in the papers, but we're not going to take matters into our own hands, and we're going to keep living the normal life. I'm not judging. It's something that I believe that is reality, but there are few people that they do something about it, and they have made a difference too. I mean, there are a lot of species that were not extinct because of that intervention too, and human intervention. So, well, you are from Australia, so bilbies. Am I not right? Didn't you save them?
Yes.
Well,
I think we're still trying to save them, actually.
all right, but
yes.
they could have been extinct so many years ago, and they are not. And in the same way, so many other species that we don't even know about, they are trying to reinsert them in their own habitats. They breed them in captivity at first, but then they train them in order to be able to live by their own in their own habitats and things like that. And there are many examples of species that have been saved lately. So it is possible, but maybe some said that we started trying to do it a bit too late. But well, at least there are people that are trying to do it, and well, I congratulate them, and it's a good thing too. And well, it's part of us, human race, so we don't do everything wrong.
Excellent. Yeah, there is a lot of things that we are doing to try to maybe even if we can't stop a lot of animals going extinct, but at least slow it down a little bit so it doesn't happen quite so fast. Luca?
Yes, I want to say also this, that okay, for sure we have a lot of cases where people go for hunt animals for, I don't know, for example, for tigers or for elephants, for the parts of their body, because they are they can be sold on the black market. Okay, for sure, this is true. But I think that the main thing is that we are always more, as said before, the people is increasing. Now I forgot what I have to say. I forgot, Natasha. I had to say something, but I don't remember.
About having more people.
So, yeah, leave me a few minutes.
No problem.
I don't know. Thank you.
You'll have to write notes for yourself when you ask for the mic, so you can remember everything you wanted to say. Okay. I want to go back to one of the points that Hernan mentioned, because we're right. We've been talking about a lot of sad things today, about animals dying, people dying. Let's try to turn it around. Let's see if the second half of the session we can maybe look at the positive side, and maybe at some of the positive things, like animals that we have managed to save or to help, or we're in the process of helping, maybe, so that they don't go extinct quite so soon. April?
Why don't we think or talk about a little bit about religious things? Because as we know, in Buddhism, they said that everything will reincarnate. So who knows? Let us think that all the animals are not really extinct, but they come back. They are here in another form. Maybe we are one of them. I don't know. So that is a little bit positive, I think.
Yeah, maybe all the animals just reappeared as different animals. I wanted to explain as well about what Hernan mentioned about the bilbies, for people who don't know. In Australia, a bilby is like an animal which kind of looks like a rabbit. Is the easiest way to think about it. But it's smaller and it kind of jumps along on four legs. It stays more on four legs. It doesn't really sit up on its back legs like rabbits do. But they're like the native rabbits of Australia, and the numbers of them were becoming really low. And so they actually started a campaign at Easter time where instead of buying chocolate rabbits, you bought chocolate bilbies. Yes, this little creature here. So the problem is that they look a little bit like rats as well. They're kind of like a mix between a rat and a rabbit. So they're not the cutest animals in the world. And a lot of people were killing them thinking that they were rats. So they started this campaign where instead of buying chocolate rabbits, you could buy chocolate bilbies. And they used a lot of the money that they raised from this to go back into research and funding to actually help protect them and help with conservation efforts. And it worked really well. The campaign's been going for a long time now. I can remember it when I was a child, actually. And they still sell these bilbies, these chocolate bilbies at Easter time. But it's kind of an example of how we have kind of managed to do something to protect an animal that we could see was going extinct, that was having difficulties. And we were actually able to help them get their numbers back up again, and so this species didn't go extinct. So it's kind of like a good news story about maybe an animal who was threatened with extinction. Sorry, Luca, I just noticed you wanted to add something.
Yes, I have the point now. Sorry, the next time I will write all concepts. All
No
that
problem.
I want to say that for sure people is responsible to bad things against animal. This is for sure, but our increasing in this earth will make our action always stronger. So a lot of animals will suffer for this and maybe will extinct. But I think this is always a concept of natural selection. This is always natural selection. But this is my opinion, we will arrive at the point where also for the human, the life will be really difficult on this planet. This is the point, I think.
Yeah, and it's something that the article did talk about as well. The fact that in reality, everything is going extinct. And the only difference is that some of them are closer to extinction than others, and that it'll take longer for some species to go extinct than others. But yeah, it is part of nature, really, that this will happen to every species, I think they said. Hernan?
Yes, in my country, I know that we are trying to save, and I think that they have accomplished several. They saved several of this animal that is called the jaguarete. It's in the real north, well, close to Brazil. Misiones is one of our provinces, and it's a sort of like a panther. Let me share the. You will. It's not a tiger or anything like that. It's smaller, but it's the. I think that is the biggest feline in whole America, and it lives in this area too, in the north. And they are trying to save it, actually, and they are achieving progress with that, inserting them back to their own habitats, not only in captivity as it has been for several years, but so they are trying to do it with a certain amount of success. So let's hope that we will have our own bilbies here. I mean, it's the same success as in Australia.
Yes, I think it's easier convincing people that a little half rat, half rabbit might be cute than a than a tiger. But yeah, hopefully they do manage to save it and get it back into the wild again. Okay. Does anybody else know of any programs like this, or any kinds of animals that might be coming extinct that people are trying to save? The gorilla, April, can you tell us more about it?
I know that in Borneo, in Indonesia, there is a young man, a French young man. He's there already for a couple of years, and he really care about this gorilla. I don't know. Gorilla is not the same as orangutan, I think, or is it the same? I don't know. Is it the same, Natasha? Or do you know if I say orangutan, do you understand?
Yes,
Okay.
orangutan.
Yeah.
But I think orangutan is different from a gorilla. I have a feeling they're different. I'm not sure.
Okay, so he is there all alone in the beginning. He went there and he got some support from the government, and now from BBC also, because he makes also some documentary about that, and it was really so they. Sometimes and through the radio, so he has also a radio station, and they called everybody who see or who sees an animal in danger, this kind of animal, gorilla and orangutan and those sort. It was less and less. It became less and less there, and almost finished. So and he take them. He takes them in his place there in Borneo, and take care of them. And after he thinks that that animal can be independent again, he let them go in the jungle again to live in the forest. And now, yeah, it is already so, and they said that it is better now, the population of those animals there. I don't know if he doesn't do that, maybe that it will go extinct, those animals, and we'll never know that, because if you are on time to save them, then we will never know that if he didn't do that, should they go extinct or not, by another problem maybe, because there also not only I don't think it is about because of the nature, because the jungle in Borneo is still quite green and very thick, but the people also, a lot of people kill those animals, or they take them in the house and just for fun, and also killing them, and that's why it became less and less. And also panda, I think panda is also became less and less. And I know that a lot of zoo, like here in Belgium also, they how many years ago? 3 or 4 years ago, they borrow a pair of pandas, a couple of pandas from China, and they try to make them have baby, and now they have 2 babies already. They said that it helps. So a lot of program actually to mate the pandas. Okay, so a lot of things, I think.
Yeah, there's a lot of programs like this, I think, actually, for a lot of animals to try to increase the populations, maybe in places like zoos, and then release them into the wild to increase the wild population too. Paula?
Yes, thank you. I know that there is a program to protect some species of sea turtle in the south of Italy and in some island near Sicily, because they decrease in the number. And this turtle has many turtles, I think, lay eggs under the beach, and the scientists watch them to identify the place where they lay eggs, and then this place is fenced. They built some fence to protect the eggs and to allow the eggs to develop the new turtle, and they are increasing in number. And you know that the younger come back to the same beach where they are born to lay eggs, and so it's a circle, and it's a way to protect also the generation in the future of this kind of turtle.
Wow, yeah, that's great. And I know that turtles as well, they have there's a lot of different ways actually that turtles can die from other predators or from problems finding the water when they're born, or I think from every group of turtles that's born, I think it's a really high percentage actually that actually live to adulthood. I don't remember what it is, but I remember hearing that out of say 100 turtles, maybe only less than 10 of them actually reached adulthood, because there's so many things that can kill them over time basically, or so many dangers that they face. So yeah, these programs are really important. Artem?
I don't know who would be suitable my example or not. I think not, but I would like to say that the beyond the river Volga is next to me is another city which is called Engels, and just on the right, when you just go on the bridge, you need to turn the right and a little bit proceed further, few km, and you will meet the area with artificial ponds. It's some kind of business idea how to entertain people, because it's so easy to catch the fish, and the size of them also has been overseen, and you will always be glad that you how funny you have spent that time. You just can catch fish every 5 minutes, and every will be huge size. Every single piece of fish will be just huge, and that kind of interesting idea. And I don't know, but I have checked. I have been there a few times, but it wasn't my intention to go there. I just don't know. I just bond with some kind of people, and I have been there. If you have to just pay some payment for access to that pond, and actually there is four of ponds, and for different kind of size and an amount and payment, because it's not so easy to oversee how much the fish is located. So it's quite interesting kind of business nowadays. That's it.
Yeah, I guess that's a different kind of preservation, I guess, because yes, they are kind of protecting the fish or the animals there, but really they're only protecting it so that they can earn money maybe from having bigger fish there or more fish there, you know, making it easier for people to catch. So I guess it's kind of conservation or preservation of them, but in maybe for a different reason or a different kind of way. Does anyone know of any other projects like this when they're trying to protect any specific animals to make sure that they're not going to go extinct? Or what do you think? Do you think we should be doing more to try to save these animals? Or do you think what we're doing at the moment is enough? Do you think we should be changing other things we do to protect them in other ways? Hanan?
I think that I don't know how what are the advances of science in this point, but maybe trying to have like a genes pool or genetical bank of some sort about the DNA of the species, trying to protect them, and maybe in the future to repopulate Earth with them in a controlled environment. It could work somehow. I don't know what I mean. What part of this can be science fiction or not nowadays? But maybe probably that could be a solution in the future. Try to clone animals and then start all over.
Yes, now we're moving into Jurassic Park kind of territory about maybe cloning animals to help them, or even bringing animals back to life. Actually, that's an interesting idea. Oh, sorry, Adam, you wanted to add something first before I ask this question.
I think we don't have to do something. If the animals aren't useful for human being, I think there's no any reason to spare them at all. Trees, for example, we have to spare them because they produce oxygen, and we won't be able to survive without them. And some kind of animals which meat tastes very well, we have to also spare them, I think. But like cockroaches, I have to get rid of them as soon as possible. Only matters, is it useful for us or not? That's it.
Okay, so you think we'll protect and take care of the cute and cuddly animals, the ones that we can eat, the ones that are useful for us, and the rest we don't really care if they go extinct. Okay. I have a different question for everyone about animals that have already gone extinct. Do you think we should be trying to bring these animals back, kind of like they did in Jurassic Park? Should we be trying to find ways to bring these animals that have gone extinct back to life? Artem?
I think only one reason can be to get back them. Only if it tastes much more better than the meat that nowadays which we eat on a daily basis. Only this single reason can be to bring them back. I just don't know. Okay.
Sorry, keep going.
I just have no idea what kind of idea can be exist. We have to hire much more people to protect them. At some point, the animals is going to conquer the earth and get rid of us. No, let it happen. No. What has happened? It has to be happening.
Okay, Hanan?
I think that we cannot play God like that, and we cannot play with nature in such fashion, because I know that Dob was I think that he was joking about, I don't know, trees and cockroaches and killing the rest. I didn't get quite right what he was trying to say, but I think that we cannot, even those animals that or insects or whatever that we just hate and say why the hell they are alive. They are alive for a reason, and we cannot pretend to know more about why are they there or not than nature. Nature has its own reasons and rules, and we cannot mess with that. So there's an equilibrium that is usually beyond us or most of us. Even the scientists that can dedicate their life studying it, I don't think that they fully grasp the what nature is about. So I don't believe that we should mess in such way. One thing is trying to save species to keep them from extinction, but another thing is to bring others alive and destroying the balance that nowadays we are having. I think it's very dangerous.
Okay. It looks like a few people agree as well. April and Luca both said no as well. Shiny, you've said sure, we should do this. Can you explain why?
Not just because if we have this ability, we just have to use it. And why not bring them back to life? It doesn't harm to us, right? I think we love those animals, so we want to bring them back. But not just bring them back. I think we should think how we take care of them. That's it.
Okay, so maybe how they could fit into the world now that we live in, and whether they'd be able to survive maybe by themselves in the world we have today. Okay, well, we've just got a few minutes left for today. Is there anything else that you can think of about extinction that you wanted to add, or any other ideas or thoughts on this subject that we haven't covered? April?
After all, is that so bad that everything changed here in the world? Is that so bad that some animals go extinct and the others still survive until a certain time? I don't think everything or anything is eternal here in the world. So one day it should be finished, like the human race, maybe also. I don't know. But one thing that I would like to see is that we can live in peaceful with everything when they are still alive now, and respect for the animals also. Don't just kill them because for fun, for example, hunting and something like that. Just respect for each other, and let the nature do its rule, and everything will be rolling as the earth also. It is turn around and around. So I don't think we should have is that the new Jurassic Park? I don't. If they are alive now, what would you do with those dinosaurs, for example? What are you going to do with them? I don't know. Let them in peace, and let the new species alive now, and have respect for each other. That is all what we can do, I think, and don't make it worse. Thank you.
Yeah, good idea. Appreciate what we have now living, not make their lives worse, and let nature take its course, I guess. I think that's a good idea. Artem?
Yeah, I just wanted to add that there's no reason to think about the animals which already got extinct, to get them back and so on. but maybe we have to a little bit to dwell on those on that species who is in danger of extinction a little bit more, just to try. I'm not against them. We just need to figure out how to coexist with them together on the East and to live side to side with them. So we have to live in peace. Peace.
Yes, peace. Like the phrase, live and let live. Let all these animals live in peace. Don't try to make their lives worse, and hopefully they'll do the same for us as well. Okay. Well, we might finish here. Any last comments or questions or thoughts before we finish?
Yeah, I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
What's the difference between the word mean and matter as a noun? Mean and matter
Mean and matter.
as a noun, as nouns.
I don't know that mean can be used as a noun. The only way I know that we could talk about
I think that he means to an end. I think that he's thinking about.
I just have met a lot of times when the speaker use that word as a noun, but I haven't managed to figure out what he was talking about.
The only way I can think of that we use it as a noun just by itself is when we're talking about maths. And when we're talking about it, it means the same as average. So like if you take a lot of different values and you want to find the one that's in the middle basically from all those values. So that's the only way I can think about it. If it's means to an end, it's talking about the way to get to the end. But I can't think of any other ways that it would mean similar to something like matter.
Okay.
Yeah, means in a lot of situations could mean like way, but it would be with an S on the end of it. It wouldn't just be mean by itself.
Mm-hmm. Okay, thank you. I have no more
Okay,
questions.
next time you hear it or find it, write it down so that we can have a look at the at the situation.
Okay.
Okay. Well, thank you very much, everyone. I hope you enjoyed the session today and hopefully talk to you all again soon. Remember, AM/PM tomorrow will be in Discord again, okay? But thank you very much, everyone, and talk to you all again soon. Don't forget to hit the red button to
What
hang
do
up.
you think then, Natasha? Discord.
What do I think?
A little bit messy.
About Discord?
Yeah.
Sometimes, yes.
Yeah, I think you, not we, you need a special room for Skype because if I were to run a session in Discord like you yesterday, it will drive me crazy. I think because you have almost no control actually there. Yeah, and that texting, yeah. And it's a pity that you can keep the history there, not like in Skype.
You can keep the history, though. I know that people have said that, but I can.
But I'm not.
Oh, okay. I have a special ability. I didn't realize.
You can do everything.
Oh, okay. I wondered about everybody saying that because I thought, but I can see history, so I was very confused. But I understand. Well, maybe we can talk about that a little bit tomorrow when we're in the session there tomorrow as well. We can talk a little bit about what people think about it as well. Okay, but let's stop here for today, okay, everyone? Talk to you all again soon. Bye.
by extinction, and for me it is a high number, because it is half of all mammals are endangered.
Yes, it's a very large number. Luca?
Yes, thanks. I just want to add one thing about the significance of the article for me. When they spoke about the grip of extinction, they basically they basically are referring to the how can I say, the main significance of this article is that all species will extinct, also the human. I think this is the principal sense of the article. So not just the animal, but also the man. I remember this.
Yes, and I think that's a very big point.
Yeah,
for
it's
this
difficult. It's difficult to explain, but the way is okay. We can give our
Everyone.
Hi.
Excellent. Ooh, lots of people here today. Great. Not so big though. Okay, welcome everyone. Today we're going to be having a look at the article that we read on Monday, which was talking about animals going extinct and why they go extinct, and actually what Google tells us about animals going extinct. So to start off, for the few people who weren't here on Monday when we read the article, who'd like to give a little bit of a summary about what the article was talking about? Artem?
Yeah. The day before yesterday, we read a very fascinating article. Why I think it was a fascinating one, and because it's the editor created that article in a very interesting way. He described how he just take out his mobile phone out of his pocket and typed his question, just one single question: why is the animals going extinct? And the response also was very interesting. I mean, not just answer the way how we'll have answered. It's worth to read if someone of you hadn't attended the session. So, and the editor just enumerated the
I don't know if it's right, contribute our to make animal gonna to be extincted, but also man will go to extinct.
Yes, exactly. It's not just, we have to remember that humans are animals as well. So when we're talking about all animals going extinct eventually, we're talking about humans as well, that eventually humans will go extinct as well. Okay. Did anyone want to add anything else that they remember? Were there any other important points? Okay. So my first question then for everyone today is, why do you think that animals are going extinct? I mean, they talked about two things in the article. The fact that everything is going extinct just because of natural selection and some of the other things that Adam mentioned. But also that maybe humans are affecting this as well. But what do you think? Why do you think animals are going extinct? Or why do you think they have gone extinct in the past? Artem?
I think every species just at some point get tired of it and just, what's the point? They just came with the idea, what's the point to live here? Let's go extinct. It's go extinct. That's animals go extinct. And Google have given him answers, but unfortunately, we haven't received it answer. He haven't published its answer. But I think everyone got the meaning that we need to just to let them live next to us. Don't invade their wilderness and leave them a little bit alone, because sooner or later we are going to be just a single species on the earth, like human being and nothing at all. No fish, no birds, no animals, no other animals at all, only human being, something like that I was reading about. Animals in extinction.
Yeah,
What?
I'm not sure if it would just be humans that are left, but maybe it'll be something else. Like the insects, I think, are pretty good at living. I think they're even better than the humans. And I think we might have new animals as well that we can't even imagine at the moment. But yeah, a lot of the animals that are alive right now, they did say that they're probably going to go extinct, that everything's really going into extinction. Great. Okay, can anyone else remember any other important points or interesting points from the article? Martin, Luca, I know that you guys have both read it. I'm not sure about everybody else. Martin.
I remember they mentioned that 50% of mammals are endangered.
The why the animals go extinct, the reason that they just was smashed out by the newcomers, for example, by food, just by competition between other species on the earth.
Yes, other species.
Other species. Yeah, yes, exactly. And so on, like desertification and so on, by coaching, what I can remember. Just why they go in street. And for myself, I think the main problem just is how to say, I forgot his name. By selection, the national selection. Who is stronger, that one is going to survive. Who is weaker, that one is doomed to die. Sooner or later, that kind of person which is weak is going to die out, unfortunately. And the editor have mentioned a lot of species who have died out during the time of his grandparents on just the closest ancestors which we can see on a photo, and he also mentioned that a lot of species is going to die out soon, and he at the end of this article mentioned, do we matter about that or not? Do we care about this